So we start with our pattern pieces that we've cut out. What I do with my pattern pieces, I laminate them. I've got an A3 laminator, so it takes big sheets, and I print off the pattern pieces, and where it says on fold, so you've got to cut a pattern piece on the fold, rather than doing that, I print 2 pieces of the pattern, and then I stick them together, like so. The other one's a mirror image as such, and I actually did it with all 4 pieces here. I was able to stick them all together and fit them in a pouch. If I can't fit them all in one laminating pouch, I'll say perhaps do one side, laminate it, laminate the other side, and then I stick them together with some medical tape, this plastic type medical tape, for using. So that's good to do. You can then reuse it over and over and over, and I love doing it. It just keeps them all nice and neat. And then I have a big A3 fold, which is huge, to keep them all in. So that's what I do with my pattern pieces. So the pattern pieces that we had to cut out, we did 2 flat panels. I do these labels before I start, which remind me of everything I need to cut out. Then once I've cut it out, I just clip them on to remind me that piece is for that part of the stitching. So I've got the flat panel here, 2 pieces cut out, and then I've got the main panel piece, which is this one. That's the flat panel. And the main piece I've got in the lining, and I also did the woven interfacing, which I use Shapeflex SF101. You can use Veline G700. So I've used that. I've used the black one and fused it together. And then also the exterior main panel, which I'm doing in cork. I've got the gorgeous vinyl for the flap, but then this beautiful cork for the body. And then our foam. Now, Sammy quite rightly says to cut the foam 3/8 of an inch smaller than the pattern piece, and that's perfectly okay to do. However, I don't like fusing my foam to my fabrics. Firstly, you've got to have it on quite a hot iron to get it to stick, and I'm not going to do that with my cork or my vinyl because it could ruin them. And sometimes they can make the fabric go a bit wrinkly, and I just don't like the effect. So I never like to fuse, although this is fusible, because it's easier to get than it is to get the sewing. I've used Bosal R-form, but where I can, I do get sewing. So I've kept it at the full size. You may want to, you may not. It's entirely up to you whether you follow the pattern rigidly or whether you do it this way. Now, I've done it the full size. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. Cut it the full size and do a wide zigzag and stitch all the way around, so you're flattening the foam, so that when you come to add it into your when you come to stitch your seams, you won't have a thick bulky mess in the seams. So you can do that. However, I don't. What I do is I'll sew the seams, and then I'll trim the foam out of the seam so that the stitching has caught to keep the foam attached and to stop it from slipping down or anything in the bag. But I do trim out the excess so that you don't get the bulky seams. So that's my foam. And then we had to cut out the pieces to pattern size. There's no pattern pieces. You have to cut out the sizes. So I've got the flap strap, the bit that's going to go down the middle, cut out, ready to go. I've also got the straps themselves. I've done out of cork. You have to do a 55-inch long. My cork wasn't long enough, so I've done it in 2 straps, and I'm going to sew them together to make one. Then the zipper facing, the zipper pocket piece, and again woven interfacing I've attached, and the strip for connectors. So that's all my pattern pieces ready to go, and the next part is to start stitching.